I got a great question from the Half Size Me community. A lovely member said, "Hey Heather, what are you doing different now?" She saw my 5-year chart in Happy Scale. She says, "What are you doing different now that's putting you at the lowest end of your weight maintenance range than when over the course of this last 5 years?" And I thought that was a great question because you'll hear me say, the lighter you get, the smaller you are, the more you want to refine, usually means having to give things up or change things. And the question becomes, are you willing to do that, right? So I figured it would be helpful to put this in a video form for those people who might be struggling with it. So let's just say you've got that last 10 to 15 pounds you're wanting to lose. And she was seeing that I was basically 12, 13 pounds down, wanted to know, what did I do differently? So exercise-wise, nothing. I didn't alter my exercise at all. I walked the same amount before and now. I did the same type of workouts before and now. So nothing with exercise changed. So that analogy I use where I talk about the two roads merging. You got your one is fitness and movement and one is food. So I didn't touch the one hand. The fitness and movement stayed the same. The other hand, what I ate did change and how I ate changed. And what I mean by that is I had really become aware after this 5 years of doing this on Happy Scale, and longer than that, but that's like my recorded weight in Happy Scale. I started noticing I was eating past full, like I was feeling content but still eating. And so what I started to do was, and I know this is going to be kind of mind-blowing, I actually started eating less vegetables and a little bit less on the fruit side. I was a really good, like if my calories were supposed to be 1,800 or 2,000 or whatever, I was one of those, if I tracked it, if it was in my food log, I was owed it and I was gonna eat it. And so that includes everything. And I've always been a volume eater. So what I started realizing was that the way I used to eat to maintain my weight past fullness wasn't feeling as good anymore. And I really was starting to feel like, okay, I could probably eat physically less food. And this showed up in spaghetti squash. It showed up in butternut squash. It showed up in zucchini. Now, granted, other portions also dwindled, but I was shocked because in my mind, those foods were healthy. They were low calorie. And so I thought, should this really be that impactful? And yeah, it was, because overeating is overeating. Eating past fullness, eating more than my body needs, and feeling overly stuffed, whether it's quote unquote healthy low calorie food or whether it's other food, it really doesn't matter. So I started eating physically less food. And what I was doing was checking with my hunger and fullness. Now, I have to mention this. When I first started all this, for myself, I didn't really know those feelings very well. And so I didn't trust them and I didn't listen to them. But it's now been since 2012 since I've been maintaining. And so I've kind of learned a lot more since then. And I become better attuned to my body. So it was more or less, I had the knowledge that this needed to change. But you know how I always talk about not being ready to do something from a willing place, maybe feeling a little bit resentful. I wasn't really ready. And I wasn't really ready until this last year. And I decided to stop tracking calories and points and really listening to my body. And what I started realizing was I was just eating less food in general. And that's typically mostly healthy food because I don't really eat out that much. I don't eat a lot of calorie dense foods for the most part. And so I just was eating a smaller volume of food till I was satisfied. And that's the big change. Like if I were to tell you what is, that's it. Nothing super exciting, I'm sorry. No detoxes, no potions, no, extreme this, extreme that. It was just literally waiting till I was hungry, noticeably hungry, eating until satisfied, and ultimately not overeating even those low calorie healthy foods like my fruits and vegetables. So I hope that helps. And again, that wasn't something I was willing to do for a long time. For a long time, I really was struggling with scarcity around food, feeling like I had enough, making sure that, I felt content and satisfied. But now it's become so consistent, like what I'm doing has become so consistent. I was finally willing to just kind of settle into this idea of not overfeeding myself. So I want to encourage you, don't give up on yourself. When I started this back in 2006, it's been like 14 years between losing and maintaining. I've learned a lot, and so will you. And it's just about waiting till you're really ready to embrace doing something different. And you don't need to rush the weight loss that'll happen, especially if we're talking that last, 10, 15, or 20 pounds. I hope this message helps. Please like and subscribe to my page, share these videos, and please let me know how I can better serve you. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.